Hey guys, welcome to the kitchen today. I'm Wanda and this is Crazy Days. It's gonna be one of those crazy days, just saying. Outside it's really kind of wet. It's sprinkling, it's not raining, but it's sprinkling, very cloudy. So today I guess I'm gonna be in the kitchen and we're gonna be doing rabbit. Here I have thawed out some rabbit from May of this year. Danny and I cut our rabbit into pieces. We don't leave it whole when we freeze it. So I have 2 front legs, 2 back legs, and the back strap piece that has all the meat on it. I don't know what you call it. I'm not good at that. But, okay, so we have our rabbit thawed out. Today, I'm going to be making a rabbit recipe. Not necessarily from this cookbook. I'm going to twist and change a little because I always do. But this is Living Traditions Homestead. Kevin and Sarah sent me this book, and they are fast becoming one of Danny and I's favorite channels because we've talked to these people in person. Kevin and Sarah are real. They're working at their homestead. They've only been on their homestead in the mountains for 2 to 3 years. I can't remember if it's 3, but between 2 to 3. They homesteaded in Arizona. They grew things in Arizona. So if you can grow in Arizona, Missouri ought to be a lot easier, just saying. So Kevin and Sarah raise rabbits, and as you know, here at Deep South I raised quite a few rabbits this past 2 years, and this is some of them. Right now we are out of rabbits because we harvested all of them to start over because our herd was, our mamas were old. After 2 years I like to transfer out. So we still have rabbit in the freezer. And when Living Traditions Homestead sent this book, this is a cookbook, 25 favorite rabbit recipes, okay? They have 25 in here. If you can't find a recipe you like, contact them in the description, go to their channel and say, how do I get one of these recipe books? As you know, I have a playlist that has a whole lot of rabbit recipes. This one we're going to be using a little bit of cane syrup, because that's what we have. We're going to use a little bit of mustard and brown sugar. We're going to mix those together. In their recipe they call for honey, and it calls for curry, I believe. I don't use curry, so I'm going to substitute a couple of other herbs, salt and pepper. They talk about putting theirs in the oven and cooking it. Mine is going in the crock pot. I have a lot I need to do today, so the crock pot's my go-to for rabbit. Everything rabbit related goes in the crock pot. We're going to take our rabbit here and I'm going to rinse it and clean it. We're going to put it into the crock pot. I'm going to salt and pepper it, and I'm going to mix up my sauce and pour over it and turn it on, and we're going to have rabbit for supper tonight. I put the thicker pieces on bottom and the smaller, thinner pieces of meat on top. To me, that just ensures the thicker pieces get done faster. The thinner pieces cook slower by laying on top of the thicker pieces. And I will move it around some as it cooks in a couple of hours. I will give it 2 to 3 hours and move it around. Okay, I have about ½ a cup of brown sugar. To that, I am adding mustard. And we don't grow this stuff here. So brown sugar and mustard is like something that we have to buy. Cane syrup. Now they call for honey, but we don't have honey, so we have cane syrup. And I'm going to just pour some in there. As you see, I did not measure, probably 2 to 3 tablespoons of mustard. It'll take a little more cane syrup to make this thicker. We've got to have kind of a pasty-like thing to pour over the rabbit. Okay, I added a couple of more spoons of cane syrup. And that melts the sugar. And you can heat this and pour over it if you want, but I'm not heating it. I am just pouring it over, and it's going to cook as cook as my rabbit does. Basically, what I'm doing is making a type of barbecue sauce, if you want to call it that. The pieces are coated, and we're just going to let them cook in the crock pot for 3 or 4 hours at least. The rabbit is looking awesome. It smells wonderful. I had put a half a cup of water in the base of this because rabbit does not have a lot of moisture in it, and I like for my rabbit to not dry out. So all the syrup has blended in with the water. We flipped the rabbit so it's getting some of the moisture from all sides. And now we're going to be adding some Deep South potatoes. So that my potatoes do not get down into the moisture, I like to put them on tin foil and let them cook. And I just slice these potatoes in half. And I'm sure Living Traditions has their own potatoes, so their recipe would call for Living Traditions potatoes. Your recipe would call for your potatoes. So I'm going to put these on top. I'm going to salt them and pepper them a little bit. Put the lid on and let them cook for the next hour or so. And then we will have our rabbit and potatoes. Okay, our potatoes are done. The meat is very, very tender. I'm going to put some on a plate and we're going to see what it tastes like.
Hey guys, I'm fixing to try some rabbit here that Wanda cooked from our rabbits. She used a recipe out of Living Traditions Homestead's cookbook that they have on rabbit. We're going to give it a shot. Now, she deviated just a little bit on it. She used mustard, cane syrup, and brown sugar on this one. It's a little bit different because that's what we had on hand, but it's basically the same recipe other than changing those couple of things there. Boy. What makes the difference is the cane syrup. I like that. It's kind of a, it's not a barbecue taste to it, but it's a different taste. It's that cane syrup taste in with the meat. I love it. Yeah, I highly recommend it. Get their cookbook. Go over to Living Traditions Homestead and tell them you want one of their cookbooks on rabbit. Now, specifically about rabbit. The different things that they do with just rabbit. It's nothing else. Don't expect anything else but just rabbit. They got a pile of recipes there for it. I think it's going to be something good. So y'all head on over that way and check out their cookbook. Thank you.